Hey friends, Peggy Hall back with you from the healthyamerican.org, taking a short break from the coverage on all of the bang bang incidents that seem to be following Kansas City. So, what we're going to talk about is something that I know is on a lot of people's minds, and that is the migrant invasion. That's one way that I'm going to put it. And you know, they are not escaping, they are being escorted. I've done several videos on this channel about exactly how you and me through our tax dollars that, these dollars that are stolen out of our paycheck every month, in addition to the money that they're printing out of thin air, this is going through nonprofit organizations. And I did a deep dive on this earlier. And these people are being brought from their countries to the United States. And wait until I tell you the new names for these individuals. We cannot call them illegal aliens. We certainly can't call them illegal, and we can't call them illegal immigrants, although some people do. I'm going to tell you what the politically correct names are. And I'm going to tell you about a Massachusetts couple that is in the news because they're the new poster people to encourage others to take these migrants into their homes, kind of sight unseen. They know nothing about them, and they're so excited to have them come stay with them in their homes. And they opened up their doors, and it said that these a family of four showed up hours after this Massachusetts couple agreed to take them in. I'm going to share that with you. I don't know. Think of all the things that could go wrong with something like this. Doesn't that sound exciting, like an adventure the government wants everybody to take part in? And then I'm going to share with you the names that we're supposed to call them. So let me do this. First, I'll share with you the video. So let me get this queued up for you. I'm going to share my screen here, and I'll have a link for you at my Substack, which is peggyhall.substack.com. And that's where you can get my written analysis on my videos along with the links. So let's hear. It's about a 2-minute video. I am going to turn it up just a tiny bit in the pace. And somebody told me this should help me outwit any, censorship, or more importantly, the copyright violation. All right, here we go.
Family is opening their doors to a migrant family that once slept on the floor at Logan Airport, and they're encouraging other people to help out in the same way during this housing crisis. It all comes as Boston leaders worry about opening up more shelter space in the city and where that space will be. WBZ's Brandon Truitt is live in Brookline with the growing divide in this migrant debate. His story all new at 8. Brandon?
Well, Lisa, with the state shelters at capacity and, of course, those images of those families sleeping at Logan Airport, the Stokes family said they knew it was time for them to step up and help.
The family is lovely. They're so appreciative. It's been wonderful.
When Colin and Jessica Stokes called the state to sign up to be a host family, it took less than an hour for the displaced migrants to be dropped off at their door.
Displaced migrants. That's a new one. I have a couple more for you. They look so excited. I don't know if they're being paid by the government, but they are just thrilled to bring in these displaced migrants. And you'll hear where they came from. Yes, they were sleeping on the floor at Logan Airport. Why were they at Logan Airport, and who paid for their trip there? And why don't they take in homeless people? I'm sure that's probably safe to do as well.
How many people are coming? Where are they from? What ages? We really knew nothing.
We knew nothing. We knew nothing about them. We couldn't wait to have them come stay in our home. It's just awesome. It's the least we could do for the common good.
It is so clearly overwhelming.
The family of four who didn't want to go on camera had been sleeping in
The family of four did not want to go on camera.
Logan Airport. The parents and two kids journeyed from Chile to Texas, then Massachusetts.
From Chile to Texas to Massachusetts. Why are we just, it's open borders now, open season, open borders. Come one, come all. Don't go to Japan. Don't go to China. Don't go to Europe. Certainly don't go to Mexico. Don't go to Australia. Don't go to New Zealand. Don't go to Brazil. Go to the United States, because as you can see, there's plenty of room.
And there are so many stories like it.
It boggles the mind that there are so many hundreds of those stories and those people who are in such a stressful, traumatic transition.
It comes as the state's newest emergency shelter in Roxbury reached its capacity of...
It looks like it reached its capacity, doesn't it? I hardly see an empty bed there at all. There's the color coding that they like again. Yeah, that'll pop up again and again.
400 people in a week. An office building in Boston Seaport could be the next site, but there are concerns.
Having a site with no running water, no showers, to me, would be a non-starter.
It is incredible to observe on the front lines how challenging it is.
The Stokes are getting a closer look at the state's migrant crisis than they ever imagined, and stress the need to fix it is greater than many of us know.
Just the dysfunction is really disheartening, and I know that really well-intentioned people are working as hard as they can. It's a state of emergency, but it is distressing to see the volume.
And Lisa, they spoke with us tonight to try to inspire other families to maybe sign up.
Bingo. Let's have other families sign up to take in strangers who don't speak the language. You know nothing about them, but let them come into your home. I'm sure there's absolutely nothing that could go wrong with that at all.
And help as well. Those kids are still waiting to be enrolled in schools. The parents are ready to get to work, but they have been told that their work authorization forms could take months to process.
Wait a minute. Let me back up a little bit. So they were brought here to the United States from Chile. They already have a work authorization permit. Does that sound right to you? And by the way, what about these families that let's flip the script a little bit. What about these migrant families that are going to these host families? Maybe the host families are, I don't know, an axe murderer or, child, whatever. Why would you do that? Like, it's really weird. And let me tell you, I'll just summarize a little bit and what we're supposed to call them now. So again, this Massachusetts couple has told the state that, like, we'll take families, and they're like, okay. And within an hour, a family showed up at their door. Like, was there any vetting in this process that went on? Local Boston area families are being encouraged to step up and offer their homes to some of the, well, at least this story called them illegal migrants streaming into the city. And this came from one of my favorite sources, the Daily Mail. New York City, Denver, Chicago, and Boston are currently being overwhelmed by tens of thousands of migrants being sent by bus from the southern border. So this Massachusetts couple is sympathetic to the plight of the migrant families who have settled in their state. Oh, have they settled? Why? And the whole thing is so troubling to me. I've done videos on this before, friends. So if this is your first time listening to me talk about this, the purpose of this video was just to share with you this very compassionate family who is opening up their home to these migrants. But if you would like to go back and see sort of my political views on things, I will have a link for you at the end of this video to my other coverage. It says, this article says, upon hearing that her house guest would be arriving sooner than later, Jessica, the host mom, quickly turned her house into a welcoming environment. She was like, oh, I have to get sheets on the beds. I wonder how many beds they have. How many people are coming? Where are they from? What ages? We really knew nothing, she said. Okay, the story says between December 1st and December 31st, more than 302,000 migrants were documented attempting to cross the U.S. southern border. They love that number, 302. 3 times 2 is 6. I've spoken about numbers in the past. This is what we are supposed to call them now, entrants, because they are entering the United States. Or better yet, this story also called them visitors. They're visitors. Well, don't visitors go home after they're done visiting? Why don't they just stop the people from coming in? You know, and I know that there is a hidden agenda at work, and it is to destroy the American culture, basically, the American way of life, strain our economy, divide us politically in terms of people that are in favor of this and people that aren't. And it is very, very troubling to me and troubling to you as well, because you've been emailing me these things. So I'm going to be keeping my eye on this story. And I would like to know if any of you know what happened in terms of what was the result of the activity of people driving and doing the rally protest at the border in Texas. Aren't the visitors still flooding the border? Inquiring minds want to know. All right, friends, something of a little lighthearted video as we close out the weekend. Thank you for being on board. I look forward to seeing you in an upcoming video. I will also have a top kit for you if you've missed this. It ties in a little bit to what we were talking about earlier this week, so I hope that you will enjoy. See you soon, everybody.